Are you looking for some of that quality outdoor decor? But you got no freaking idea where to go? Oh, come on over to Samurai Aquatics and Decor for all your outdoor decor needs. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the Metaverse, do you? Yeah, just delete that. I'm still not ready, sorry. Got yourself an empty plot of boring virtual real estate in the Metaverse, do you? Or maybe some kind of crappy ramshackle building that, I don't know, needs a bit of extra spunk to it or something. And stop mucking about and get yourself over to Samurai Aquatics Discord to see all our available stock. We've got loads of different decor to spend your pretend money on. We got saunas to fire you up and ice baths to chew you the fudge out. Literally stock coming out of our ears. Grills, swings, seating and more. So much more. And if we don't got it, give us a buzz and we could probably make it. Get yourself on over to Samurai Aquatics at 30 Aqua Vista Way in Midtown Terrace, San Francisco, lickety split, and gorge yourself on outdoor decor.
The Whine and Cheese Show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved, contains content not suitable for anyone.
G'day and welcome to episode 55 of the Whine and Cheese in the Metaverses show. I'm BEN68 here with my co-host Morecheese, recording on Friday the 14th of October for Cheezels, which is Saturday the 15th for me.
Today's show, we looked into some of the amazing stuff just announced in Upland, shortcomings of Decentraland and other hyped Metaverses, big Q3 investment numbers for Metaverse projects, and blockchain games, the disruptive future of NFTs, think Bitcoin about 10 years ago, and Zuckerberg's greasy legs.
So scroll out, sickos, take a chill pill and embrace Web3 winter in another shitty episode of
The worst show ever.
Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. Whine and Cheese. Time for Whine and Cheese. One is a wanker, one's slinging stunts. One's from Australia, one's from the Bronx. Talking about the Metaverse and NFTs. Interviewing all the real crypto G's.
Hello, welcome to the Whine and Cheese in the Metaverses show. This is episode 55.
I'm alive. You're alive.
We're alive, but we have no one here. And there is reason for that. Maybe one of Marty D's puppets will show up. That would be funny.
I was just
But
thinking
he
before,
won't.
we were catching screenshots for the thumbnail, and I was looking when I do those eyes. I think I'm merging into one of his puppets. I feel like I'm becoming one of his puppets.
Oh my God. Well, check your ass to make sure there's no hand up there talking to you.
It's a bit early in the AM for that. Yes.
So, do you want to discuss our new format? Or, well, I hate the word format because we like to change things up a bit. So we're changing things up a bit.
Yep.
We have a lot to talk about. Here, I just said for you to say, and then I'm talking over you. Go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
No, we're just kind of flipping the usual format on its head a little bit. Normally it's us gas bagging for a while, and then we get a guest on every week. We're just so busy with everything else we got going on, especially for you. That's a lot of logistical work, getting all that sorted out. And then on the back end with all the NFTs and that. So we're going to make those kind of interview spots more of a specialized thing rather than a every week sort of thing. So you're kind of stuck listening to Cheese and I gas bag on. So yes.
All about us, ourselves, and us.
Some extra spillage. But yeah, we will always have guests on at, through the year and that sort of thing. But at least temporarily, or I don't know, it might be an ongoing thing. So here we go.
And if you have a project
yes,
that you want to put out there. Like we're all about the Upland community, especially. Or even if it's not the Upland community, if it has to do with Metaverse and NFTs, let us know and we'll give you a platform.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fun fact. You see this white line, everybody? Well, can they see it?
They
Or
can,
can
yeah,
you-
because you're going to say the next part. Say the next part.
I keep it there to annoy
Just to
Ben.
drive me freaking crazy. Yes. Because when I'm doing all the stuff on the back end, yeah, I'm looking at that 1 pixel line. That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. So, should we do our sickos now or wait?
Well, we may as well do it now. Yeah, normally we do a Sickos challenge through the show or patched in the back end as its own thing, and you qualify for the free episode theme custom Morecheese NFT. Well, obviously, if we're not doing interviews every week, then that's not going to be the case. So we would like to put it out there where we're kind of interested in what your ideas are for prizes and giveaways that we could do on the show. So things like that. So I don't know. Anything else to add there?
And whoever comes up with a suggestion will get their name put on the wheel, and whoever wins will get their choice of a Whine and Cheese episode NFT that you don't have already. You want to do like collecting, a yada yada.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Let us know what your ideas are. See how we go.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
shall we get into it? Well, holy moly, what a week it's
meat and
been.
potatoes. Yes. Oh my freaking God. We have so much to talk about.
Oh,
Partnership.
yes.
Holy shit.
Big news. Absolutely.
Freaking amazing. Amazing news. I can't even talk because of it.
Yeah. That's so big that we'll hold off on that as its own thing. We'll get to that in a second. What else has been happening in the Uplands?
Halloween stuff.
Yes. Now.
No, so yeah, like I opened my boxes today. I was really surprised. Ben was like, "Oh, you didn't open your boxes yet," but I opened my boxes, and I got a bunch of stuff. I don't know what is what. Let me share.
Yeah, I got about 37 packs, I think, and was reasonably happy. I did pull one of the, I think it's an Eldritch Mint #2 Block Explorer, so that was pretty cool. I got plenty of good stuff, but I will say that especially for the building decorations, they're pretty dismal in comparison to last year. Yeah, I got some of those. Scroll across and go to your building ornaments. Structure or whatever.
Oh wait, I think I
Structure
passed
ornaments,
it.
I think it was.
Structure
Sorry, yeah.
ornaments.
So look at last year's. Go back up the top. Go back up the top, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Like look at last year's one, like that cool, Grim
Yeah.
Reaper sort of thing and all of those. And then if you check out this year's ones, there's just like chunks of baby skin plonked on top of a house. And
Are you shitting me?
I'm not.
Wait.
I'm not. Yeah, click on that. I don't know if it'll let you click on it. Well,
whoa!
big chunk of baby skin thrown on the house. Like,
I kind of like that.
What?
That's so freaking cool. Like someone.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
out there.
this is
Yeah, check out some of the other ones too.
extremely out there, which
Yeah.
makes me a little happy.
Well, yeah, you're all
knowing
about
that if they can do this, we can do this.
Absolutely, yeah. Have a look at one
the
of the
baby
other ones.
has some hair.
Yeah.
It has it's old but young. All right, you said that there's some others.
Yeah, so click on one of the other ones down the bottom. So it'll be one of those other skin ones. There's one there that you're gonna like. Maybe you didn't get it. Creepy kid. Yeah, try that one.
The small one, right?
Yeah. That's
Oh
just
my
like,
God, it's
that's literally
just skin?
a hunk of flesh on top of your house.
I don't like that because it looks like cotton candy.
Yeah, I'd just say in general terms, like all of them, there's a couple of, I've got a couple of really cool zombie hand ones, which are the rarer ones. I've got a couple of those, but some of them just have caution tape on them. Some of it's got like a pumpkin vine on it. In general terms, I will say that this year's ornaments are woeful in comparison to last year's.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, but yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I kind of like it because it makes us look good.
It just seems rushed to me. I really wish they would have put this out to the community. You know, there's so many talented 3D modelers in the community.
Yeah.
When you look at the Christmas ornaments that were done, like those are amazing, and they were all done by the community.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
no,
let's
you're
just
right.
slap some tape on it. It's really,
I think you know what it is. I think it's a matter of, do you want it now,
yeah, but there's no
rushed and not
excuse for
great?
that. There's no excuse for that. This
Well,
is
there
the
kind of
third
is.
Halloween.
There kind of is. Like, how much stuff have we been seeing coming out on a regular basis in the last few months compared to the first and second Halloween?
True, they have been very busy, but just click on one of your Christmas ornaments there.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean that they were made by the community. For people who don't know, like, this was made by the community. That just looks amazing. So
yeah, it does.
it, to me, it just seems like they've left it to the last minute again and then rushed to throw something together.
But at the same time, it's like, this is going to become a meta venture one day, right?
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
really pretty.
Yep.
It's kind of good that people will not have that much competition. I love this one. I was only
Funny
able
old
to get
ones.
one of them.
The Santa roller coaster. Yeah, I mean, I just think Halloween has always been so big in the community. Like, it's been such a fun kind of event, and to get those decorations, I mean, it's a classic. If you look at Midtown Terrace, you can see we've got our ones all together, where we've got those four old last year's Halloween ornaments, and then you look at the ones from this year that I put up, and it's very, very contrasting. So yeah, that's my wine. But yeah, get out of there, and we shall move on. Yeah, I think I got about 37 boxes, something like that. I went a bit crazy too. So. No, what are you squirreled on?
Sorry.
So yeah, X out of there, and we'll move on, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's very cool, and well, as harsh as I've been there to say that they're pretty woeful, I was very happy to see that they allowed us to put the ornaments on so early, and also that the packs came through so quickly. Like, even before it was sold out, I just went to buy some more because there were still small townhouse ones available.
Oh, really?
When I went to bed last night, there was 250 of each left, and I just checked before, and they're all sold out. So yeah, but it was cool that they delivered those before it was all sold out. So,
and they came with Block Explorers.
yeah,
So
that's kind of cool too. What else have I got to whine about for that? There was something else. I forget, but yeah.
Well, and then they have the meetup in San Francisco.
I know you kind of hinted about going. Are you exploring that more?
No, I checked to see how far it was. Me and geography are not friends, and it was like 11 hours, so it would take us 2 days to drive there. I just hate taking planes.
Yeah.
I don't want to fly. And if it was in LA, it would have been great because we're like 4 hours away, about maybe 5. Just like Vegas. I guess I'll be doing the Vegas thing again next year.
Well, you're assuming that they're going to be in Vegas again.
Well, no, like, all right, so we had a conversation. It was me, Human, X1 in a general chat. Like, he comes in there at night sometimes and just shoots shit, which is really cool. And Human, he's always trying to get information out of him in the cutest way possible. And he was like, oh, for the Genesis week, can we have it here? And I'm like, no, you got to keep it 4 hours away from Phoenix and Vegas. That way I could drive there And then X1 replied something like, "Oh, you and I are on the same page. It'll always be like in that desert area, yada yada." So that's cool. Like, because I would like to go back. Like, Vegas isn't as crowded as Manhattan, NYC, NFT. It's got, even though it's got like a lot of smoking, it's still very laid back.
Yeah, well, you were wrecked for like 2 weeks
I
afterwards.
was wrecked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so bad with like secondhand smoke. Oh my God.
Yes, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I just hope they do some kind of online thing because yeah, that's all well and good if you can go there, but you know, there's
I
the
know.
vast majority of the player base can't. So you got to do something else, which I'm sure they will. You know,
Like, I would definitely live stream a good amount of it. Like, I'll bring actual like GoPro type stuff. I'll be way more prepared
oh
this
yeah,
time around.
yes, yeah. So that's kind of Halloween. I'm sure there's because there was partnerships. Did you see they made a kerfuffle with the announcement? Like there was going to be a special rare one of one, an opportunity to get a one of one block explorer, and everyone was going crazy. I forget the guy's name, Jack Mai or somebody, like a really cool artist, and then they edited
Really?
it to delete it because it wasn't supposed to be in there. So there's some other thing
Oh.
coming with Halloween apparently too.
So that's cool. All right, sneaky peeky.
I
Something
remembered.
cool.
My other one was going to be the white screen crashes. Like as soon as I went to start putting my ornaments on, it was just a flashback to last year. Just constant white screen crashes. Any interaction with the ornaments,
On the
crash,
phone.
crash, crash. Yeah. So that makes me a bit worried if we're going to do another Halloween parade like they attempted to do one last year in Portage Park that was all decked out, but nobody could do anything because the game just couldn't load. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why they're being so cautious.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see the videos again.
Yeah.
Like, that was so much fun. People were extremely talented with their video especially you and your kids. That was so awesome to see.
It was fun. See how we go. Did you one last thing for all that sort of stuff? Are you going to unstake your spark as part of that? Like they're doing another one of those unstake your spark for the snapshot to get a UpX reward things.
Oh, is it? I didn't. When is that?
I don't know because I'm not going to do it. I remember last time I did it was a big kerfuffle, and then they didn't. Nobody got their UpX, or it was the wrong amounts, and it carried on for like 2-3 weeks before it all got
Yeah,
sorted out. So
Spark is money. Like,
yeah.
like if it's only for an hour, like maybe, but what's that gonna do?
Yeah,
Like, I have to build out my Bronx Dale. You have to build, like, we have to build out the factories and
yeah. Well, I'd be taken away from manufacturing basically. So, and for me, it's because of the time zone differences. It's not. I can't just unstake it for the hour of the snapshot. I'm unstaking for like 8 hours or something.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it this week. Oh, this time around. See how we go. All right. We also saw that yes, large showrooms are now available, and there's an option to apply for a car showroom metaventure, but you had to own
Exciting.
3 cars. How many people would qualify for that from the get go?
But
Maybe a dozen.
probably, yeah, like no more than that. I was thinking like a car metaventure would be like a block explorer metaventure. Like, people will go to you to sell their cars, sort of
but
thing.
it's different now because the block explorers aren't manufactured. There's none of that logistical side. We know that cars are built in a factory. Cars have to be put on. They take up a specific squared space in the land. So yeah, if you want to run a car showroom, you're going to have a decent sized land to first of all fit the showroom on, and to be able to, you know, it's like a secondhand car sales lot. It's exactly the same thing. All of the
I'm
cars
giving
are
myself a
out
tap on because remember, this is what I've been saying.
there. Yep.
Big lots are going to be worth a lot more because of like the big factories coming out and the manufacturing and this and that. But like I thought that, all right, you have this this car manufacturer Metaventure, let's say, for example, because you better not, I'll kill you. You take your car to somebody and you're like, hey, I want to sell my car. You go to their Metaventure and you put it for sale under their Metaventure shop and they get a cut. That's how I thought it was going to be.
I think that is how it's going to be. But if you want to sell, like, well, first of all, I don't have a car. I've only got a truck, and that's for the business, so we're kind of safe. But yeah, say I had a car and I wanted to sell it. At the moment, I could airdrop it to the showroom, that's the sale showroom. But we know that's not going to be the case. That's going to have to be either driven to the showroom, or it's going to have to be transported on a truck. So there's a whole bunch of logistics to come.
And I don't think you could do it in anything but the large showroom.
Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah. I think that's kind of almost been specifically created for this role. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to be actual Metaventures for selling cars.
Yep.
So we don't have all the information yet, but I would be excited to see how that works.
Yeah. It's all evolving. I mean, I don't know. Did you want to dive into neighborhood rating stuff, or should we save that for your podcast? I think we should probably save it, because that's the meat and potatoes of that. Yeah. All right. I think that's because we are going to talk about the partnership. I don't think there's any other bullet points you've got written down there. We can move on.
Yeah.
Oh, you missed that. That's good. You're not looking.
I missed it. Oh
no! Yeah, let's move on. I'll do share screen.
You were talking about Ben dancing. I don't know how it came up, but yeah, and I'm like, dancing. What do you dance to? And I'm sure your wife doesn't dance to Slayer.
Oh. We get a bit crazy on Friday nights. Don't.
Oh really? That's cute. I like it. I like it.
Well, I'm sure you can imagine my whole thing. Like, my whole thing is just to freak my kids out as much as possible and to embarrass them as much as possible, and that extends to my wife as well. So we have some fun. We have some fun. We don't keep things too serious, which probably be pretty obvious.
A family that headbangs together stays together.
There you go. All right, let's move on and dive into this partnership news, because this is pretty huge, and this is something that we've been talking about a lot on this show, is like these kind of things getting together. And it also speaks to another point, which I'm hoping, I mean, I don't know how far you and I are going to get into this now, but Vox is it's a pretty cool system powered by Gala. It is kind of confusing to get your head around, and we're not going to be able to explain it all within this. So, you're going to have to follow the links in the description if you haven't checked it out. There are a bunch of interviews out there and that sort of thing.
There was a previous episode that we did with Octavius, aka Dylan, and he was huge into Gala Games months ago, like maybe even years ago, and he was doing a DAO for Miranda's that is through Gala Games, and just to kind of like give everybody an idea of how big Gala is like, to get into that project is tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I remember when he was putting that DAO together, it wasn't for the faint of heart.
Yeah. So this should be interesting, because I see Gala as a big player in the metaverse world, and for them to see like Upland as somebody cool to partner with, first of all, tells me how smart they are, because Upland is the future.
Yeah.
And it just shows us that Upland is doing things in the background that we don't know about yet, and that there's so much more to come.
And we've got some goss on that we're going to dive into in a little bit. I was just looking there, the interview we did with Crown Capital DAO for Octavius, that was 10 months ago.
10 months.
Episode 14. So there you go. Now, one of the other things, like it is pricey. I think it's 0.88 Ethereum to buy one of these Vox avatars. That's Off the top of my
5,000.
head, that's about $1,000 US, something like that.
Oh, it's only that? I thought that would be like 40. All right, that's not 1,000 is not that bad.
Well,
I
so
mean, all right, to Upland people, yeah, it's gonna be like good. That's like a different world. The Ethereum metaverse is a
absolutely.
whole different world. And
Yep.
I'm hoping like I went to the Vox by Gala Games Discord,
Yep.
and the people there, the community is really nice. It was really nice, and they're very welcoming. And I would love to see them come into Upland and spend some serious money. Like I
Well,
could
that
see it.
if they're, yeah, you're right that the Ethereum kind of side of things is used to much higher numbers. So they might come over to Upland and say, "Whoa, look how cheap this is," and start gobbling up. And that kind of brings me to one of my points that I want to make too is we've been talking, especially for the last few months, maybe about how all of these metaverses and all of these projects are getting massive traction in the mainstream media, but there's nothing for Upland. Maybe this is the turning point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this will be
Hopefully, this is the
definitely.
turning point, because
But
if this isn't,
see
what's
here,
going to do it?
like here's the thing, because we have an article that we're going to talk about later on that explains how stupid some metaverses are compared to Upland. Like Upland is doing it the right way. We're doing it via like underground, big names, like Gala Games is a big name. We actually have people playing Upland, as in other metaverses that are just hyped out the asshole that have almost nobody actively playing. But am I wrong?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, it says here, Upland and Gala Games partnership advances the open metaverse. The potential of cross-platform experiences in the open metaverse is exciting, and as we see in the recent partnership announced between Upland and Gala Games, it's getting closer every day. Yeah, there's a video there. I'm not going to press play because it won't go through. Like I said, there are a couple of really good interviews out there all about it that can get you more up to speed. Again, I'm certainly, yeah, you say it's only $1,000, but I'm way tapped out in what I'm willing to invest in anything NFT Upland related. I'm not putting anything else in. So that's a bridge too far for me. I won't be diving into that myself because,
Well, it is Upland related because they're partners.
well, if I had to put it this way, if I had $1,000 burning a hole in my back pocket, I would upgrade this shitty laptop that I'm on, and I'd buy a new laptop.
Yeah.
Buying a 3D pixel avatar is not on my radar.
Oh, I was thinking.
Voxel avatar, yeah.
So we're going to get into their headquarters later. That's the gossip that we have. But what if they allowed you to buy voxels with UPX?
That's interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, this is speculation, not financial advice, but can you imagine? Like,
well,
you could earn it like through.
yeah, well, I mean, they have talked about you're going to be able to, with the portals that are coming, you're going to be able to export your Upland NFTs to OpenSea and that sort of thing. So, yeah, interesting.
When you say Upland NFTs, is that the ones that they created, or Upland NFTs as in your block explorers and
Everything in Upland is an NFT, even your property, your title cards, everything. So,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
But again, it's one of those things where, like you said, and maybe we should just dive into it, should we? Instead of saying we're going to get to it later, let's just dive into it. So again, we're not going to dive into the meat and potatoes of this. There's plenty of information there you can dive into. It's what we're focusing on is the underlying structure of what this all is, and how it's been built and where it's headed. So I don't know. What did you say? Nosif gave you the heads up?
Yeah, well, I listened to the AMA, and then I heard a couple of areas, and then Nosif sent me. We were talking last night because we're in that New York NYC node thing, that he created. Awesome stuff, and he was like, "Oh, isn't it their headquarters is going to be in Manhattan?" And I'm like, "Oh, I thought it was going to be in Vegas." So then he sent me a clipping of the AMA exactly when they said it. And it's actually going to be in the city skyline exclusive property.
What's rare? It's a rare.
Oh, rare. Oh, rare with a star on it.
It's Skyline Manhattan is rare. Yeah, I'll bring that up now. I've just clicked on that.
56 Leonard Street.
Oh, what? I'm clicking on the wrong one. How did I get that?
Oh, and that's Kepler as well.
Yeah, I've clicked on the wrong one. Hang on. How did I manage to balls that up? That's a good trick. 56 Leonard. Why isn't it showing up for me? 56 Leonard Street. Ah, here we go. Go to property. And shout out to upxland.me for allowing us to do all of this kind of cool stuff. Speaking of my donkey laptop, let's see if it can load. So yeah, this is going to be the headquarters of Vox in Upland.
As per what it was said in the AMA, if this changes, that's not on us, but this is something that was said that their headquarters would be.
Yeah, now this is a Skyline Manhattan Rare Collection property. And yeah, what's interesting here is the name Kepler. Now, before we kick off the show, you told me about this name, and I went over to upxland.me and I checked out, well, who is this Kepler dude? And I recognized the custom avatar straight away. He's got a clown avatar, and I was like, I've seen that guy before. And you know, there's one of the awesome things about upxland.me is it has the link to their EOS account there, so you can just click on that and it takes you straight over. We've got that here, and now we're looking at that account's blockchain data. Now, if I go all the way to the end, I did have this up, but my donkey laptop reloaded it. We can see that the Kepler account was created on July 17th, 2020. So yeah, he's been around for a while, and he actually minted that property. He minted that 56 Leonard Street property on the 3rd of November, 2020. Yeah, so he's been around. He jumped in about 6 months after me and has been around for a long time. And yeah, has a whole bunch of property, a really good property in Manhattan, in San Francisco. So yes, now is it one of the things where like you
there's
were kind
so
of
much speculation.
Yeah,
there's so much guessing, like, and these are just guesses that we're like going forward, like, is this going to tie into renting land?
Yeah.
Is Kepler actually them, or is Kepler just an OG that
created a project or got involved in a project? Yeah. It's I guess it's kind of two angles. This is, which I very much doubt, that the thinking could be that that property was always designated as it was going to be the kind of headquarters for this, and this has been essentially, what are we, nearly 2.5 years in the making to come to fruition. Or this is just something that he had in his account, and then he's then since gone on to get involved in the project, and he's thought, well, hang on a minute, I've got this property here, this is a cool property, let's use that. I would imagine it's the latter, not the former.
Would be a cool way to segue into building and land renting.
Yeah.
But I mean, not financial advice. This is all speculation.
Yes.
But that's, come up with your own thoughts on that, and in the comments, just kind of like share what you think it means.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool that A, they're going to be in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And B, who is this Kepler person?
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I definitely like it. Was there anything else that stood out as far as what the partnership is? Is there anything that excites you about it? Like I said, for me specifically, I'm not going to get involved in it. I just like what it's doing.
You might, because from what I heard, they are going to do some sort of racing game within their property. Like,
But do you need a Vox character to be able to access that? Or...
Yeah, but they're not I'm sure Upland is Upland and Vox is Vox. So like if they're in Upland, they have to kind of like play by Upland's rules and vice versa. If we're in Vox, we got to play by Vox's rules. So if they create something within Upland, my best guess would be that you can buy these things in Upix.
Yeah.
That
I
would be
guess-
amazing.
I think it's probably a case. I think it's a case where take somebody like Thank Me Later as an example. He joined Upland. I think it was like a month after I did. So you're talking early January 2020. Okay, so when he joined, he bought up a whole crap load of really cool properties, and then again 2.5 years down the track, he's building up the Upx world sort of thing. So it's kind of a chicken and an egg thing. Yeah. So it's interesting to see how it all plays out. And like the more these sorts of ideas come out, the more sort of community collaboration that happens, the more of these sort of projects are going to evolve and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's all
I bought
pretty
myself a
cool.
huge whiteboard to go through some things I have planned for the future with MVE and Wine and Cheese. So
Nice. You just got to win that lotto, lady. Win the lotto.
I know I'm trying. I don't even play, but I'm trying.
You don't play and you're trying to win. There's something wrong with the math there. All right, now you did talk about, and we did talk about too, that we've been kind of complaining that Upland hasn't been getting much shine, and we hope that this Vox project is something that starts to turn that around.
Yeah.
One of the funny articles that did come out, and it did get a bit of press around the place actually, was some of these projects that are worth, like Decentraland, for example, is worth nearly $2 billion, but it has 38 active daily
Yeah.
users.
And that goes by what I said before. Like you could hype anything. You could hype a piece of dog shit on the floor. That doesn't mean it has value.
Yeah.
Like how many people play Upland?
Yeah,
versus
we're talking 30,000. Is it monthly or daily active users? What? It's a lot. Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yes.
Like 38 active users, that's a joke.
Yeah. So it says here, a dire new report shows that Metaverse project Decentraland, a project that is worth nearly 2 billion Australian dollars, so only has 38 active users. Decentraland states that the number reflected as active user isn't entirely true, however, as it only counts people who interact with the Metaverse's contracts. Okay, so, but from my own perspective, I have been in Decentraland several times to grab thumbnails and have a look around for articles we've touched on for this show. And yeah, there's nobody there. It's been quite hilarious. So it's kind of a bit freaky. So yeah, it says 38 active users over the span of 24 hours.
Now, what I see is a whole bunch of whales that bought into the whole, look at all these stars that are here. I should be here. This is a great investment. But it's like, who cares?
Yeah,
like if there's no layer 2, there's no gameplay. Like I'd rather, like, I love Snoop Dogg, like, in the 90s, whatever, like that was the music, and I'm a 90s girl, and I'd rather have Gala Games in Upland than Snoop. I would love to have Snoop as well, but Snoop isn't going to give me utility. Gala Games is going to.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes back to Mark Cuban's point, which we touched on. It's virtual real estate without any community is just fucking, what did he say? Fucking stupid or something. Yeah.
Wow, look at that tweet. Yeah. That's amazing. Who's Alex?
Alex Donaldson. I don't know.
Is he like a streamer? I want to check him out. He goes, LMAO, this Metaverse project has a market cap of 1.2 billion and only 38 active users over a 24-hour measurement period. When are the people pumping the sector up going to realize it's a busted flush?
Yes.
Now, should we try to contact this Alex? He has a check next to his name, so he must be
Zone runner.
into like maybe he's a streamer, or he's a publisher, he's something. I would love to see hear his input about Upland.
Now, if we weren't the worst show ever, we would have pre-organized this and got a comment from him about it. Yeah, absolutely.
No, but to be fair, we get these articles before the show
Yeah,
to
that's
make
what I'm
sure
saying.
that they're like extremely up to date. Except that-
Today, yeah.
yeah.
There's another point here. Like they're pooing the idea. They said yes, but it's only the ones that interact with the contract. So it says here, Decentraland stated that its active users metric only counts users that interact with its contracts, while the platform sees around 8,000 users on average daily. Again, in comparison to Upland, that is tiny.
Yeah.
So, however, 8,000 daily users on a platform that is worth approximately 2 billion, with only 38 of them interacting with the financial bedrock of said platform over the span of a 24-hour period, is not great for something that is supposed to be the foundation of the future. And digital industry veterans were not particularly impressed. Yeah.
And you know what? I kind of feel like those 8,000 daily users is how it was with me. I went in there, saw it was shit, and then left.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to anybody who's a decentralized fan. I'm not completely knocking them, but that is kind of
Yeah, it's pathetic. And this is what it keeps getting back to the point where why are we not getting any shine for Upland, you know?
Well, all right, so I feel like Upland wants to put the product before the hype.
Yeah.
You know, and I can see that. Like, why put out something like the people in Discord, the people in Twitter, the people in Reddit, we're all giving our feedback, right? You like they're still kind of like creating this whole platform, and the people flooding it doesn't really help anything, but at the same time they're getting ideas from it, you know.
Yeah.
As long as it's not personal. Like if you're gonna FUD, that's fine. People need to hear criticism, but just don't make it personal.
Yes. Now, just for some comparison, I'm going to share screen with DAP Radar. Like that article mentions DAP Radar several times as the source of the information. Now, keep in mind this is filtered to games, so you can check this out on dapradar.com. And if you go to rankings, this is all of the various blockchain games that are available. So currently we've got Alien Worlds as number 1. Now we know Alien Worlds runs a whole bunch of multi-accounts and all sorts of things. Splinterlands is a very old game. Farmers World on Wax, that's cool. They got 85,000 active users over a 24-hour period. So this is 24 hours. And Upland is sitting in at number 6 on 32.21 thousand daily active users. So yeah, look at the comparison. So
Farmers World is still going. That's good.
And going
I
very
haven't
strong.
heard about them.
Look at the
Yeah.
transaction volume.
Yeah.
$0 transaction volume. $0
Because I thought that they
volume.
did some greasy shit lately.
Interesting.
Same with Alien Worlds. I'm hearing that Alien Worlds, like most of their daily users are bots.
Oh, hang
and
on.
that people are quitting because they have this new game in there where you could lose everything.
Yes. Well,
if you don't play more than 8 times a day.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah. So I see Upland kind of moving up a bit.
Yes. Ignore what I just said about the $0 because it's showing 0 for Upland as well. So there must be something where it doesn't track. It mustn't track. Must only track some certain metric associated with it.
Now, what does the balance mean?
Balance? I don't know. 30 million, 1,000 for Alien Worlds, 45,000 for Splinterlands, 69,000. I don't know. Oh, maybe it's got it here. Information. Total value of assets in DApp's smart contracts.
All right. Yeah. Well, Splinterlands, they're amazing. Like they've been around for a while and they're still active, and that's where Kitty Waffles is from. Waffles Kitty.
Yes. Kitty Waffles.
Now I want some waffles.
Yes. So yeah, that's all very interesting. I don't know if there's anything else there for us to touch on. Let me go back and see if there's any else. Another metaverse project, the Sandbox, also disagreed with DApp Radar's findings. CEO Arthur Madrid explained the distinction between active users and spectators. An active user is a user that connects over a period of time. But this is the same for all of these ones that are being tracked. It's the same
Yeah.
for Upland. Like 32,000 active users. That's not counting the spectators that go in there and just look around. Imagine you can only track the number of people paying for something at a cashier at a shopping mall, he continued. That doesn't mean there aren't a lot of passers-by. Yeah, but so what?
Who cares about the passersby?
Yeah.
They don't count.
They don't count in any of the economic metrics. That's a pathetic argument.
That is. And what can
Wow.
you actually buy in Decentraland besides land?
I don't know. I've
Like
only just looked around.
in Upland, you could do land, you could get Spark, you could do treasure hunts for Spark, you could buy houses.
Yeah, I think the big difference is the community aspect. You know, there is community in Upland. There's like Decentraland and Sandbox, as you said, that it's entirely fueled by speculators. You know, looking to make a buck. So yeah. Goes on to say mass adoption of the metaverse, cryptocurrency, and Web3 is slow and may never take off. Nah, that's not true. I don't believe that. Existing Web3 projects have often failed from the jump, and the idea for them to succeed in the future apparently involves labor abuse. Whoa, wow, I'm not going to click on that. That sounds crazy. But yeah, yeah, that's if they're saying, if they're making that argument here about the shopping mall, that is such a weak argument.
Yeah, that is a weak
they're
argument.
clutching at straws. They
That
know
was-
they're
that
on a
was
house of
bad.
cards there, I think.
Oh yeah.
And especially being too that they're tied with cryptocurrencies. Like, what is it for Decentraland? Is it Mana or something? And Sand for Sandbox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which both took a hit a while back. I'm not sure how it's looking right now.
Well, after FUD pieces like that, I can.
I know.
Maybe we can have a look. Let me bring it up. I'll skip ahead.
And sandboxes we're like, who is in Decentraland? Because I know isn't Snoop
There's
in
a lot
Sandbox?
a lot of the articles we've touched on for Decentraland have been like, you know, they've been the funny ones, like the sex shop does a thing in there and this, that, and the other thing. It's more about like experiences. What are we looking for? Is it? I don't know if it's Mana. We'll just do Sand. Maybe it is Mana. Now I've lost my navigation. I can't even find it because I can't search. Stupid Zoom. I'll just scroll through.
I think that the artists do concerts there, but I don't think they actually.
That might be it too. Yeah. Here we go. Decentraland Mana. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we're looking at here. Now down to 60 cents. What are you squirreling?
All right, they got Paris Hilton and JP Morgan Bank.
Yeah. So again, it's hype.
Yeah, it's hype indeed.
Let's go to the weekly.
All right, let's
weekly
see.
chart. If you listen on the Spotify, apologies for that. We're looking at the candle chart for Decentraland Mana on coinmarketcap.com. So we start off in 10th August 2020. You know, we're at 7 cents, and then we had the big boom up to a high of about $5.
Wow.
At pretty much this time last year, November, end of November. So around this time last year, it was really pumping. And since then, she's been,
yeah.
Hold on to your butts. Yeah, I can't imagine FUD pieces like this, and once that kind of news like that gets spread out, I can't imagine that's going to do much for the price.
Can we check Sand real quick to see?
I'm gonna have to try and find that manually because for some reason when I click search, I'm losing the. Oh no, there it is. Sand. I was just being a
Yay.
bonehead before. The sandbox.
Let's see if they have a similar chart.
I'll do
I'm
the
sure they
same
have a
thing.
similar chart.
I'll do the. I hate those charts. Let's do the candle chart.
And then
yeah,
when
as I
we-
always say, scroll out, people. Don't look at the daily unless you're doing active trading or something, not financial advice. Yeah, it's pretty much the same, isn't it?
Same
Almost.
thing.
If you
Yeah.
overlaid that, it would be exactly the same. Goes up to a high of $7.50 almost, same date, 22nd of November. And then now we're down to
Boom.
almost the same price, 70 cents, 75,
Isn't it-
60 cents.
You look
Oof.
at the candles, it's a nice little step ladder down. Boop, boop, boop.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, wow.
Well, it makes you
Ouch.
happy that Upland isn't on, doesn't it have like a
exchange.
token on you?
And hopefully it never does. I was originally back in the day. I was one of the crowd saying this should be on an exchange. Yep.
Well, because you know why you didn't probably see the complete, what's the word?
kind
You
of
didn't see the big
plan.
picture yet, and
Yeah.
like you just wanted to kind of get in and flip it back then.
Absolutely. Well, I came in
Yeah.
from a crypto background. I came in from a pump and freaking dump background, riding
Yeah.
the ICO crazes and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
But now that you see that, you know, there's a lot more to come, and this is actually something you can build and grow with. There's no flipping anymore, except for the
Now I'm
cheap mint
old and
properties.
mature.
You've always been old, but now you're more mature.
How dare you?
Boom.
Rudeness. Yeah, no. So I think that's kind of scary at the same time, because what that's going to do is once that gets out in the mainstream, and you know, we can laugh at it, we can joke at it, we can poo-poo it, because at least I'm not financially invested in Manor and Sand and that not. If that all crashes and burns, you know, you'll have a little bit of a snicker, but there will be ramifications of that will have a negative impact across the whole, you know, ecosystem. So it's kind of, yeah, don't go wishing for the demise of things too much, because
Oh no, I want them to stay because I
shooting
want
yourself in the foot.
I want them to stay for what they are.
Yeah.
I want them to always be there, but I want Upland to surpass them.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to our whole node thing too. We hate hype projects. There has to be some kind of substance there as the foundation. So
Yeah.
we shall see. All right. Shall we move on? What do we got next? I think this
You
is
notice one
newfound,
thing
wasn't it?
we didn't have to talk about
Oh,
before, which I don't want to talk about it just yet. Neighborhood ratings.
yeah,
Because there's still so many questions that need to be answered.
yeah.
I think it's best that we just kind of, instead of looking through it and becoming more confused, let's wait until everybody in Reddit gets their answers, the questions answered, and a more structured version of it
Oh,
coming out.
there's Karens coming out of the woodworks. There's all these hysterical people coming out of the woodworks. Oh, we're
Well,
gonna
I
have to
mean-
demolish our properties and build them all. Like, just calm down.
It's like I said, critique is good.
Yeah.
It gives a foundation and a formula, but don't make it personal.
Yeah, no.
Because nobody's going to take your critique seriously if it's like curse laden and aggressive and whatnot. But like a lot of people have a good amount of points that need to get across, but if you get them across the wrong way, they're not going to be listened to.
Yeah, we absolutely. We don't do hysteria. We don't do impulsive reactionary stuff. Like, people are saying, "Oh, we're going to have to demolish all our properties and restart again." Like, hang on a minute.
Yeah,
We've said
it's not going to happen.
like it's additional to this show is the Upland Development United. We've said since day one, the very first team meeting, we don't know where this is going. We're only working with the information that we have available at this point in time. And our whole thing was we wanted to be up on our feet, and when new information comes, then we make adjustments, you know. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, it's just we stick to the plan. We wait for more information and we digest
Adapt and
it.
evolve.
Yeah, exactly. Adapt and evolve and move on. All right, now you love this one, the Daily Hodl. That tickled your
I like the
fancy.
name. That's such a great name for a freaking Metaverse newspaper, online newspaper.
Absolutely. So it's got here, Metaverse projects and blockchain games attract 1.3 billion in investment in Q3 amid crypto winter. Yes. One of the YouTubers I saw,
Crypto winter. I like that.
is an Australian guy. I forget his name. I think it's Metaverse Billionaires or something. He puts up a lot of shorts about all like news and information stuff. And he was saying the projects that are building now in the midst of crypto winter, those are the ones that you're going to want to keep an eye on for when the tide turns, when the bulls get back in control. Those are the ones that you're going to see your 10Xs, your 100X, your 1000X.
Yeah.
So yeah. The ones that are just quietly building away in the background and making these partnerships, like Upland has just done with Vox and that.
Yes. Yeah, I made a crazy $50, and I put $25 more in the Shiba, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. There's a cute dog.
Yeah.
They said that they're gonna burn a lot of them, so we'll see.
Yes. So it says here again. It says DAP Radar. A new DAP Radar report shows that the metaverse and blockchain gaming industry continues to thrive even as the broader crypto markets remain in the red. According to the data acquisition and analysis firm, Web3 games and metaverse projects raised 1.3 billion in the third quarter of the year compared to 3.1 billion that the crypto segment received in Q2. So yes, there is, like I said, there is so much being built in the background on the back end. And a classic case with Upland, like we just got smashed with announcements and new information this last week. And clearly that's been stuff that has been building for
years,
months, or if not
months and years. And and like I mentioned in there, like I'm happy about all the new stuff that's coming out. It's like every week, and like one of the community mods, it might have been Lizette, I don't want to say for sure, but they said, like, and it's not finished yet. It's nowhere near being done. So like before the end of the year, I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff that comes out, and by next year we won't even like recognize a lot of the game that we knew a year back.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I think it'll be very cool, like if we skip a year ahead, to do one Whine and Cheese show where what were we talking about a year ago, sort of thing. That could be cool to have a look back in time. So, although I did go back, I don't know why, I went back recently and watched the start of the first Whine and Cheese episode, and my gosh, is it mega cringe. So, pretty funny.
Was it? That was Lil.
No, it wasn't that. It was just how awkward we were, like.
We were nervous.
Yeah.
I think the second one with Human made it a lot more funny and calming.
Yeah.
I think we were just so nervous we didn't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's definitely no feedback on Lil that we interviewed. It was just the general vibe was just funny.
Yeah.
So. All right, it says here, the report says that September generated only 156 million, the least amount raised by Web3 games and metaverse-related projects for the whole year, but the total investments for the year already exceeded the 4 billion capital generated in 2021. So that's cool. Of the Q3 investments, 36% were funneled into projects like Inkworld AI and Hadian that focuses on building the infrastructure of Web3 games and the metaverse. DAP Radar says blockchain games serve as a driving force for the decentralized application industry, the DAP industry, as the crypto winter persists. Yeah, that's cool.
I like crypto winter. That's so cool. Like winter's coming.
It's, I mean, as we've said on the UDU podcast, as we touch on that, I didn't buy any crypto for 3 years. I've waited for this. I've been waiting for this winter. This is stack'em time. This is glory days. So, I like this a lot. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to touch on there? That's a cool pick.
No, that was a good article. I gotta see if I find more from this daily huddle.
So all of this money that's being spent now, we might, like you've just said there too, we might not see the fruits of that until Q3 next year. It's just all what's being built in the background. So, Yes.
True.
Very, very juicy. All right, is that it? Are we finished? No, we've still got 2 more.
And sorry for the gum chewing. My mouth gets dry, so I have to chew some gum.
Yeah, it's a wonder I'm not chewing on my arm. I haven't had anything to eat or drink. So I got up early
All
and we got
day. Your
straight
day
to
just started.
work. Yes. Well, my day starts early, so yeah.
That's true.
We had a good chat with D-Tech about some Samurai Aquatics stuff that we're excited to release at some point, but not yet. You'll have to keep your peepers out and your ears
Yeah,
out.
it's so freaking cool.
All right, moving on to Cointelegraph.com. We've got NFTs will be as disruptive as Bitcoin was 10 years ago, says Kraken executive. Kraken is one of the major cryptocurrency exchanges. So it says here, Jonathan Miller, who is the managing director of the Kraken exchange in Australia, says despite NFT volumes plunging, the company remains bullish on the NFT space. Yeah, well, as we just said, now's the time to be bullish. NFT trading volumes may have dropped nearly 98% since January. That is a winter. Ooh, love it.
Wow.
But several industry executives tell Cointelegraph that it's nothing to fear as the technology continues to develop and mature. These kind of drops, this kind of crypto winter, it's absolutely necessary. We need to shake out. We need to shake out the false projects, the stuff that's just hype that has no substance to it, and these sorts of drops do that. It also helps to shake out some of the paper hands that are playing with it on the other side of the coin. So yeah, these are very essential kind of things. Who did we talk to recently? I think it might have been City Runner, one of the Portage Park crew that, or maybe, apologies if it wasn't you, but we were talking to somebody and they bought some crypto when it was at the peak and they've just watched it plummet. Maybe
oh yeah, that was City Runner.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna dive in and just panic sell and fall out, then ultimately that's good for the overall health of the economy. It's not good for you as an individual, but yeah, you only lose if you sell.
Look what happened to wax. Like it went from $1 to now what, 0.10 cents?
Yeah.
8
Oh,
cents.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's one of those, like I've just said there, you only lose if you sell, but then we just saw with the manna and the sand graphs, like on that pump, you're going to be kicking yourself if you didn't sell at least a percentage of your holdings to get yourself back into playing with house money.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Never all in, never all out.
Yeah.
And have a plan. That's probably the most important thing. Anyhow, I'm dragging us wildly off track with non-financial advice. Yes. So he says, despite NFT market activity and sales volume having slowed down in September, we are still seeing positive adoption signals at an institutional level. Yep. And continued growth in use cases. So yeah, again, it's about building the foundations. He's particularly intrigued by JP Morgan signing a lease using the technology, this is NFTs, as well as hearing the news that the Vatican has opened an NFT gallery. Wow. Wow.
That's awesome.
He, however, acknowledged that the NFT industry is still in its infancy, absolutely, and that the biggest barrier to mass adoption is nightmare user experiences, saying that it is very hard to say to someone who wants digital art that you have to install a wallet and you have to onboard with that exchange. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, mass adoption is not going to come through having to sign up wallets. Like we've talked about that all through the history of this show. Mass adoption, in my mind, mass adoption is going to come through things like Upland, where you don't even have a clue that you're playing a blockchain NFT game. You've just downloaded an app on your phone and yada, yada, yada. You're playing a game, or it may be some kind of Instagram-y thing, or who knows, it'll be some kind of app or whatever. It may be the case where it's bureaucracy based, like you go and renew your driver's license and this, that, and the other thing. Yeah. The mass adoption is not going to come from people buying Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs for millions of dollars on OpenSea.
Yeah.
and then doing their ass when we go in the next crypto winter. That's not what it's going to be. So, yeah. The Kraken executive said that it has been a top priority for them to make that process smoother. Again, that goes to Upland, like we see with city releases. Like, think of the hell we've been through as far as the crash and burns we've had with city releases, which are essentially, you can think of those as pack drops almost, you know, and how smooth they've become now. Like, what are breaking records, like 60 NFTs minted per second or something crazy. Or it might have been even more. I think it was, what were they, in the thousands or something stupid. I don't know.
It's really stupid.
Don't quote me on those numbers. He says here, John Stefanidis, CEO and founder of the NFT gaming platform Balthazar DAO, told Cointelegraph that the trading downfall is not significant in the grand scheme of NFTs, as people need to understand that NFTs are more than just photos. Yeah, absolutely. That's where a lot of the disconnect is. A lot of the FUD is, oh man, I can just screenshot that and then I've paid $1 million. Yeah, you're just totally missing the point. And and I just say, if, like, I get that, not all the time, but it has come up to me in real life conversations, you know, where people ask, what do you do on this, that, and the other thing? And that kind of gets said, oh, NFTs, you know, you can just screenshot that. And I was like, okay, go and take a screenshot of Jeff Bezos's bank account. Are you a bazillionaire? No, you're not. So, you know, it doesn't mean dick unless you actually have it, unless you actually own it. He believes that this has potential to stabilize, meaning the drop the market more, saying that whenever there is horizontal growth, people diversify and pull back, and we're going to see a more gradual growth in NFTs. And again, it's very important that that happens. We're still not at a point of maturity in the NFT market. We're still going to see people buy. We're still going to see people buy a rock for $1 million. Yes.
Wow.
People are just going to chase the speculation. That's all just part of. I don't think we're even at infancy stage. I think we're still at bloody amoeba stage. We're still, you know, slime in the evolutionary scale of things. I think it's still all. I think we're just still trying to find, you know, what are going to be the multicellular organisms or whatever, so we can start crawling out of the swamp. So we'll see. Yeah, I think that's a good comparison piece to the one we just touched on. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you either believe in the foundations of what this is all headed towards, what it is headed towards, and if you have the capacity to do so, maybe you might put in some long-term financial plays for that, or you don't. And if you don't believe in it and you're just riding that speculative, if you're riding those speculative candles, man, you need to be prepared to just do your ass. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got one more to touch on here. Now, this is a funny one. Going back to my best mate, my poor old best mate. He just cannot catch a break, this guy. Zuck, what have you done now, buddy? Now, apparently you heard about this. I only heard about it when we found this article. Do you know the bit of the backstory here? Can you give us the lead-in juice?
I read about it real quick. It was like maybe a day ago, and the people at Meta are kind of shocked and surprised that Zuck concentrated concentrated so much on creating legs instead of, you know, kind of working on other more vital things in his little metaverse there. And
wow.
Yeah, like it goes back to that article we did before.
Wow.
About people not want, like the people that even work for him don't even want to use the metaverse for meetings and such. So
Yeah, so this is from decrypt.co. Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse legs were staged.
Oh, so I didn't read about that. Like I know
So
he took a long time to create them and they weren't even real.
apparently not. So the sub headline is the billionaire founder did say, seriously, legs are hard.
Wow.
Okay, so it says here, it's fair to say that nobody is more excited about Meta's future than future Metaverse than billionaire CEO, blah, 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 my mate Mark Zuckerberg. Note his utter delight when earlier this week he announced one more feature coming soon. That's probably the most requested feature on our roadmap.
Yeah,
Legs.
really.
I think everyone has been waiting for this. Now, hang on a minute. This sounds almost onionish.
This sounds what?
You know, the Onion, they put out articles.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Anyway, let's carry on. We'll
I
just
could
imagine
see
it's
it
real.
though.
Oh, no, this is from Meta Horizon. There's a tweet here from Meta Horizon. Legs are coming soon. Are you excited? Now, I'm going to press play on this and you won't be able to hear it, but just to see what this is all about. Okay, so we've got Mark Zuckerberg and another female avatar in the metaverse doing jumping jacks and kicking their legs and generally having a big party because they have legs. Wow.
And that was all staged.
Oh, let's see. Indeed, the addition of legs to Meta's metaverse was what made the most headlines this week, and not the upgraded haptic and tracking features or integrated web browser of the new Quest Pro mixed reality headset.
Wow.
Wow. Legs,
Wow.
why are legs such a big thing?
I don't know.
If I go into Decentraland, I've got legs. I'm walking around with legs. Weird. Zuckerberg explained that Meta will use an artificial intelligence model to predict and depict the positions of a user's whole body, but as delightful as the live stream reveal the Horizon World Legs demo was more a screen images simulated moment.
So
I
what
get
he
it.
wants to do
Yeah.
is based on your head,
Yeah.
like with the thing on, it'll determine whether you're kicking or jumping or walking rather than just like the plain old walking in Decentraland.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right there. So it's that's cool. The technology of that is very cool. Because you think of things like haptic suit gaming and whatnot, the underlying part of that is very cool. But yeah.
Like you could jump over things for real.
Yep. Absolutely. According
You
to
could like
Ian,
march in place instead of pressing forward on your controller while you're standing still.
well, it even points to things like think of metaverse related concerts and things like that where you want to dance, you want to move around or whatever. There's the ways that could be used is probably infinite. So I
I
get
mean that
why
is pretty cool. Yeah.
I get why my best mate is so excited, but maybe that needs to be explained a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. I think to make that more clear would be in his best interest. Because yeah, I would like that. I would like that for some like shooting game if I'm walking or I have to like march fast in place to signify running. Oh, that would be so cool. What a workout and fun.
Yeah, rather than your generic stock standard animations and that sort of stuff. Absolutely. So it says here, according to Ian Hamilton, editor of Upload VR, a Meta spokesman told him that to enable this preview of what's to come, the segment featured animations created from motion capture. That's kind of greasy.
Yeah, that's greasy.
Yeah, that's really greasy, actually. Anything in a product demo deserves skepticism. All demos lie, reads one reply, but the apparent fabrication of a feature that has drawn a significant amount of industry commentary, snark, and competitive trolling certainly doesn't help the rocky rollout of what is supposed to be Meta's signature product.
I kind of feel like in the future, like a few months or a year, everyone's gonna be swallowing their words and loving this meta bullshit.
Absolutely, but there you go,
including me.
Yeah, well, there you go. Read that. That's bang on to what we're just saying.
At least Zuckerberg's commentary about adding legs makes clear that doing so is a significant challenge, which it is, one that in retrospect he could have been saying Meta hasn't yet solved.
Yeah. So don't try and fake it till you make it. Be honest about these things. Yeah, that's kind of greasy. Oh, so he did say this. Seriously, legs are hard, which is why other virtual reality systems don't have them either.
I can see
Oh,
that.
he said either. So that means that
Oh,
he's
yeah,
saying he
like he's
doesn't
saying
have
he
them as
doesn't have
well.
them. Yeah.
The perpetual science behind this is actually quite interesting. He opined, how do you say that word? We discovered early on that your
fancy.
brain is a lot more willing to accept a rendering of a part of you as long as it's accurately positioned. But if it's rendered in the wrong place, it just feels terrible. Yeah, imagine you're playing a game and your leg's like cocked out to the left or something.
Look, all right, so why doesn't he create something really simple like pants, but instead of pants, it's the Velcro things that attach to like above your knee
Mm,
and your waist
yep. Yeah,
that can like signal to the headset what you're doing.
yeah, those motion capture kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, like making the headset do everything. Like that's a freaking
It's a lot of work.
challenge. Yeah.
So it says that's why Zuckerberg explained early VR iterations depicted the positions of VR controllers rather than guessing the position of the hands and arms holding them. But for Horizon Worlds and most VR technologies, there are no controllers or sensors for users' feet and legs.
Yeah.
Understanding your leg position is surprisingly difficult because of occlusion. If your legs are under a desk or your arms block your view of them, your headset can't see them directly, he said. You need to build an AI model to predict your whole body position. As a result, the first full body avatars will come to Horizon Worlds first, then to Meta's other products. Yeah.
I still feel like instead of having the vision of it, just to have that really simple thing with sensors. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe I should send him a message.
Yeah.
Can you get me in?
I'll get him on speed dial. Yeah.
All right, because you guys are best friends.
Some people have suggested the lack of legs is a feature, not a bug, as there is notable increase in the amount of potential mayhem and abuse that can be simulated once the human form extends below the belt.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sadly, Meta's
Yeah.
Horizon Worlds has already seen its first sexual assault report. Yeah, we've covered that previously. Can get greasy, but you just got to have systems in place to deal with that, as we've touched on. Yeah. In October 2021, Facebook, arguably one of the biggest names in technology, bet the whole $10 billion farm on the Metaverse. The company changed its name to Meta and has since been aligning its sprawling enterprise to support Zuckerberg's vision of a virtual social universe.
Well,
this goes back to your point. We're all poo-pooing, we're all laughing. Meanwhile, they're building the foundations, and every grandma and grandpa and uncle and auntie and everybody else is eventually going to be on board, and they won't even know they're doing it. It'll just be part of all daily life. And my mate Zark, he's going to just be raking in those dollaroonies.
Here's to Zuck.
Here's to Zark.
Here's to Zuck. I mean, all right. So he's not a stupid guy. He's smart.
Yeah.
He's he made Facebook. He knows what's going to be big, and if he's putting this much money and effort into it, it gives me like really good feelings about all my investments.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, you're a diamond hands anyway. You're not a papered hand hype merchant or a panic merchant.
I'm a hodler.
Yes. It all points to good things, I think. Like I said, crypto winter, NFT winter, Metaverse winter, bring it on. Love it.
Yeah, I'm getting as much as I can at these prices. Polygon, even Wax. Like if you get some really nice NFTs for cheap right now and just hold,
especially what Polygon's got happening with all of the partnerships they're doing. Yeah, I have rebalanced my dollar cost averaging just to kind of redistribute what I'm nibbling in, and I put more into Matic Polygon. Absolutely.
Smart, yeah.
I'm getting towards nice little bag. And I'll sit on that for once I stop buying, I'll sit on that for a full year. I won't even touch it. Doesn't matter what the market's doing, if it's up, down, sideways, because of the tax implications of selling. I don't know. I think it's the same in the States, isn't it? If you
Oh yeah, if
haven't
you
held an
sell
asset
before a
for
year.
more than 12 months, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
think the tax here on capital gains for that, if you sell before 12 months, it's something like 50%. It's massive.
Yeah, I
It's
think it's only
massive.
20% here. Wow, 50%.
Yeah, so I'm just stacking in winter, stack. If it starts taking off, then I'll stop buying, or if I hit my bag targets, I'll stop buying, and then I'll just sit on it and then check what it's doing in the year. I'll just set and forget.
It's probably money we would have spent on stupid shit anyway.
Absolutely, it is. Yeah, it's with daily dollar cost averaging. It's It's not that I have a lot of. Well, I don't have any spare cash, but it's just a way of balancing the budget, sort of thing. And we're not talking.
And it's like, let's say we wanted to go out one night and we decided to stay home. Like you put that $50 right into your money market, stuff like that.
Absolutely. All right. I think that's enough non-financial advice for one show.
I think we did good, an hour and a half. Wow.
We started late, so yeah, it's maybe an hour 20. So yeah, pretty close. This is again, if you're a mad fan of the show because you're all about the interviews, that's not cancelled. We will do interviews, but they will be a feature rather than the norm. At least especially this time of the year, I'm smashed in real life work. Cheese is just smashed trying to catch up with NFTs and everything else that we got going on the back.
Arting is not easy. Like one NFT took me 3 weeks. Like it depends on what I'm doing. Faces or objects. Faces are hard.
Yes.
So.
And before we kicked off, we did realize too that there's a few things that we need to go back and catch up on as far as different projects, this, that, and the other thing too. So yeah. So bear with us. But yeah, if you can, like and subscribe, share the love, spread us around, get us out there. That's it, Cheese. I think good to wrap us up. I'm the one that's got to press the button today. But you still got to get us out of here.
Guys, everyone, just make sure you keep staying fresh, your cheese bags.
Bye.